Hello, my name is Cody Bass, and I will be doing a brief history on the development of the major labels and what we know today and how they became the great tycoons they are. Everything began with Thomas Edison and the invention of the recording process in 1877. With this forward thinking and entrepreneurial wisdom, the birth of the music business had begun. Technology would play a great part in making and recording music, starting with the phonograph and phonograph discs. These would revolutionize the way music was recorded and listened to by people. The major players in the industry were Victor, Columbia, and HMV until the end of World War II. The primary market was businessmen, lawyers, court, reporters, and others who used stenography to capture important thoughts or to compose letters. Although the sound recorder as a business machine has its own history, its impact on the entertainment industry also has its own history. Anyway, enough of the history of how recording came to be. Let's get to how the labels came to be what they are today. The giant label corporations once started out as small businesses, just like anyone else who knows that owning a small business isn't such a small feat. But with a little bit of dreaming and a little bit of ambition, anything is possible. The major labels, as stated in the book, are Columbia Records, RCA Records, Capitol Records, Warner Brothers Records, Motown Records, and A&M Records. Starting out with Columbia Records, Columbia was one of the biggest labels from the start. And with its invention of the gramophone, it only shot it up even more until its purchase by Sony in 1988. After the invention of the velvet tone by Marconi, it shot sales up to an unheard of, at the time, $150 million a year. In 1948, they introduced the 33 1/3 LP, which shot them into the stars. RCA Records, starting out as a byproduct from the Victor talking machine in 1901, RCA grew more and more throughout the years, taking in stars such as Al Johnson, Glenn Miller, Dolly Parton, and Elvis Presley. Capitol Records, founded in 1942 by songwriter Johnny Mercer, movie producer Buddy DeSilva, and retail record store owner Glenn Wallachs. Capitol's biggest success came when it was bought by EMI in 1956, and its release of very successful albums by the Beach Boys and the Beatles. Warner Brothers Records, formed by movie mogul Jack Warner in 1958. He used TV and movies to cross-market sell recorded products as well as movies. Great artists such as Dean Martin, the Grateful Dead, and the Kinks have passed through Warner Brothers Records. Motown Records, formerly known as Hitsville, USA, started by Berry Gordy Jr. in Detroit. Gordy used $800 of borrowed family money to get his business started. Within a few years, the label crossed over into top 40 radio with such acts as Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, the Temptations, and Marvin Gaye. A&M Records, Herb Alpert, Jerry Moss started Carnival Records in 1962 with $200 to their name. They later found out that the name Carnival had already been taken, so they changed their name to A&M Records. Their first recording, The Lonely Bull, was recorded under the idea of a bullfight they had seen in Tijuana, Mexico. It sold nearly 700,000 copies and later came to be one of the most successful labels with artists such as Joe Cocker, The Police, and Cat Stevens. They also did all of this out of their garage. This being said, it shows that any person can make a successful company. Out of a small business or out of nothing. All it takes is ambition and hard work and dreams.